video about how
Speak louder as well.
about how damaging like the stress levels are, particularly in the UK. You know, I'm noticing it very much since we got back in from France, and really it just feels like the general like stress and survival energy in everybody. You know, I'm talking about the feeling kind of on the roads really at the moment, and in the towns that we're passing through. You know, like people are in a survival state. You know, like the stress is tangible. You know, I'm very empathic, but it's like I can feel it all around me, and it's like I'm just aware like of my own stress levels as well while I'm engaging in all of this. And I just feel like we really do need to make some very big changes to try and hold on to our humanity and our truth and our kindness and our consideration, because when people are more in survival mode, the kindnesses go, because people are finding their lives so full on, so stressful, so busy. The kind things like letting people out onto the road who are waiting in side lanes, or you know, like giving a quid to a homeless guy, go by the by, because everybody feels so much like they're in a survival situation, so they can't do these little kindnesses that make us all feel like life is a little bit more worth living. And I feel like ultimately
You need to go right in a sec.
this is going to be part of the agenda on the planet that will push us all more into like robotic states or merging with technologies, because everybody is going to feel so shit anyway that they are looking for other ways out. And I think really holding on to our humanity, our ability to feel, to have empathy, to feel for other people, to care about the environment or other people, is actually endangered. You know, I do feel like humanity is endangered because this way of living just isn't healthy. You know, there will not be many happy people at the moment going past us in the car in this traffic jam, you know, and it's not like it's an isolated occurrence. You know, a lot of these poor sods are doing this day in, day out. You know, thank God that I'm not. But, you know, like it's not making the kind of world that a lot of us want to live in. It just isn't making a caring world. It's not making a considerate world. It's not making a world where people look out for each other. And I don't see a very good path if we don't make changes with this, really. And I do think people will end up going through the pathways of, you know, I mean, the stress itself is going to cause so much disease and illnesses within people that then getting, you know, other parts, other implants or whatever is going to seem attractive to people as well.
Virtual reality.
Yeah, you know, like things that stop us actually being a human, you know, that make us some kind of hybrid with technology in some sort of form. And I just feel like that's very sad, because I feel like humanity, like true humanity, is very, very beautiful, you know, and I want to be a true human. I want to be a feeling, sentient, spiritual, living, breathing, compassionate being. I don't want to end up just like a switched off robot who doesn't care about anyone or anything because of stress.
Well, that's powerful stuff in itself, you know, being a fully present and an aware human being, you know, that's
and that's what we need. That's, you know, like we need people to be in that state if we are going to heal, if we are going to move forward, because people who are having to be switched off from their emotions because they're just trying to get by, just trying to get their money, just trying to survive, you know, they can't hold space, they can't bring healing, they can't heal themselves, they can't see where they're at, they can't operate with any level of empathy and heart with another person because their own stress levels are right up here. And again, you know, my main message in so many of these videos seems to be, what kind of world do we truly want to live in? and we are making the choice as to what kind of world in every moment. Every choice that we make, every alignment that we are making that decision as to what kind of world, whether we're in a world where there is feeling and humanity and care and compassion, and that we're in this together, or a world that just gets colder and colder and more scavenger-like, and where that survival is like the primary thing. And I do have faith in humanity. I feel true humanity is a very, very beautiful thing, and I feel like we need to be striving for this. I really do, because when our focus is on the material things, it's like where I'm sat at the moment, like just across the way is an Audi and a Merc, and it's not judging people who feel like they want, the posh, like, status cars and stuff, but it's like too much emphasis is going on how we look, what we drive, what impression we are giving. And at the end of the day, I know it's blatantly obvious, but you're not going to take your status car with you. When you die, you're going to take this, it's going, not literally your physical heart, but you're going to take your life experience. You're going to take all those interactions when you cross paths with other souls in this life. You're going to take whether you cared or whether you didn't. You're going to have to look at your own life, your own soul, and how you spent your time on this planet. And I'm not talking in a judgment way. I'm not talking in a big bloke with a beard in the sky who says you did bad and you shall go to hell, and you did good and you can come and sit here with me, son, and all of that stuff. I'm just talking at a basic soul level. When we die, we are probably going to assess our lives and how we lived it, what we did with our lives. And I think a lot of us are going to find it a bit difficult if we spend all our time, striving for money because we wanted a bigger car, because we wanted a better car than our mates, or because, or if we spend hours and hours of our time just trying to put, makeup on and look pretty, and spend hours in front of selfie cameras. How do we want to live this life? How do we want to have spent our precious time on this beautiful planet? And I do feel like they're questions that we need to be asking ourselves. I really do feel like they're questions that we need to be asking ourselves. And it's shaping the world that our children and our grandchildren and their grandchildren are going to grow up in. And do we really want our grandchildren and their grandchildren to be like half robotic creatures that don't even remember what true feeling is? And I feel very sad about that idea. I mean, that idea of people just like not having feelings, not having compassion, not having empathy, not being able to look into another soul's eyes and feel for them and for their journey. The idea of those things being taken away, I think, is truly hellish.
Well, it's no longer being human, really, is it?
I mean, that's a hell plane to me. That's as hellish as it gets, to be honest. I don't believe that there's a place where we're all going to burn in hell if we're not good people. But I believe that we are creating a version of hell on this planet if we aren't careful. And that's sad, because at the heart of everybody is a very beautiful soul, a very beautiful being. And I just feel like the stress that most people are under in general is a very, very damaging thing, and something needs to be done to change the way that we're all living. I think that'll do me.
No, I totally agree. I feel like I want to get back to that place of being very present and sensitive to life, and there's a strength in it. The idea of sensitivity can make people feel...
Well, people see it as a weakness, but it's not. It's a massive part of who we are, like the warriors of old, like Native American warriors and everything, they were very, very sensitive and in tune to their environment.
The weather and the animals and
true strength comes from being able to feel and to be with all you see, all you feel, and not have to run from it or numb from it or hide from it or distract from it, or just plug yourself into the nearest screen to pretend none of it's happening.
Yeah, I think me and Katie, with us, there's just a real call for truth, and a real call to what's authentic and what feels real and what's numbing us out, what makes us feel dead, you know. And we don't want that, you know. We want to be alive, especially when you see so many people are struggling so much and becoming more numbed out. It's like someone's got to go the other way. It makes me want to go the other direction even more, actually, when I look around and I come back to England, and it's like the depression and the stress and the way
so many
it's
people
definitely
look
different.
ill, apart from anything else. I mean, just looking around as we're sat here, people are not in a good way. You know, I mean, weight issues are massive. You know, like people that are different infirmities, and you know, like, and apart from anything else, people just don't look well. You know, they don't look healthy, and you know, I mean, I don't feel all that healthy myself at the moment, but you know, I mean, I suppose I maybe sound a little bit on it in this video, but it's just like driving through all this, feeling the energy around me, especially after having been out where things are a bit more peaceful. You know, like in France, there's so, like, proportionally the number of people in the country, you know, there's just so much more space, whereas in England we're all really piled in. You know, like all of the roads are really busy. You know, like the roads in a smallish town here are kind of as busy as the roads around some of the cities in France were. And I don't feel like we've got a very high quality of life here, to be honest.
Well, the thing is, whether we like it or not, science is now saying that we are sensitive to the traffic and society, and it's saying that it's having a bigger impact on our health than they actually realise. They didn't take it seriously enough. So it's not just, you know, the pollution and all that, the actual constant noise of driving,
the stress
and hearing traffic noise is actually a lot more grating, and people around bigger towns and that are dying from more illnesses and stuff.
Their
So
life expectancy is a lot shorter being around those environments.
So there's definitely something going on with the needing to calm the nervous system and keep people, you know, in a good way. So there's a lot of positivity that can come from realising these things, you know.
Yeah, that's the thing, you know. I mean, we really do have the power to create a heaven on earth or a hell on earth, you know, and we are making those decisions in every moment, and every one of us is shaping that future. And I, you know, like, my main message is just like, you know, please do it consciously. You know, whatever path you want to take, if you think it's cool to be merged with robots, brilliant, you know, just be conscious that that is what you want at a true level, and that is what you're aligning with, because it's the unconsciousness, you know, everybody just like blindly walking off the cliff because they can't be bothered looking at the path they're walking, you know, is just a bloody waste, really, to be honest, you know. So I'm not saying agree with me, just be conscious, you know. You are in your life, this is your life experience, and is this what you signed up for? Is this what you wanted? Is this what you're going to be happy with when you go back to spirit, when you die? Are you going to be happy with what this experience was? Do you feel powerful in your life? Do you feel like you're just being herded along with all the society's norms and the expectations? You know, do you feel like you have actually been awake and conscious that this is your life and you are living it here and now, and you are making choices here and now that are shaping everything? And, you know, I personally want to live as consciously as I bloody can. And
it's about having a real life, really, isn't it? About it being so real and fulfilled that you like, wow, you know, I'm glad I did this, even though, you know, I went out of my comfort zone and I did this, and I'm so glad I did it. I feel
it's
grateful.
It's like trying to live bravely, trying to live courageously, and trying to live with the knowledge that none of us know when our time is going to be up. You know, whatever age you are, it could be over tomorrow, it could be over today, it could be over in the next minute. And what do we want to leave this life with? You know, how do we want to have lived this life? I think that'll do.
Thank you, Katie.